Hey there, everybody. So, for my sixth reflection this week, I'm going to be talking about Bakhtin's theory of dialogue and specifically how it's going to apply to my Django study. And so, Bakhtin kind of talks about everyday life and how we take for granted all these simple things in which change actually happens. And so, what that ordinary, taken for granted aspect of life is called is the prosaic. And in Django, the prosaic is kind of difficult to figure out what it is because basically all of the white characters, with the exception of Dr. Schultz, consider that the prosaic is the racist behavior that they allow. So they believe in slavery, they own slaves, they perpetuate slavery, and so that's kind of the taken for granted everyday aspect of life that they are thinking about. Now, through this context, we would consider Dr. Schultz and Django to actually be considered centrifugal forces as they challenge societal norms throughout the film. And then people like Calvin Candy or the Brittle Brothers or any of the other white characters or some of the black characters like Samuel L. Jackson's character become centripetal forces because they are trying to restore that social norm that Django and Dr. Schultz are trying to disrupt. So when we look into this, right, language becomes important, and so utterances are also very important. One of the most significant utterances throughout the film is nigger. It's not a nice term, but it is it's very impactful, and so you can see the different types of reactions that phrase responds and elicits from both Django and Dr. Schultz. And it starts with Dr. Schultz. And so when he first hears it, he is, confused and bewildered because he thought that he freed Django at the beginning of the film, and he's confused that people are still treating him so poorly because he thought that, racism only applied to slaves and not just all black people. As Schultz defends Django, Django starts to become a little bit more empowered himself, and throughout the film, as Schultz, begins to take more aggressive actions, he trains Django how to defend himself. He trains him how to be a bounty hunter, how to, shoot, and how to act with people that are, threatening. And so he teaches him all these things. And so by the end of the film, you see when Dr. Schultz actually does die, Django is able to take up the sole role of the centrifugal forces because he takes his own action and he disrupts, he kills Calvin Candy himself. So it's been a very interesting theory to use for this study and this movie, and I think that it works pretty well, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. All right, have a good one.